I don't remember the exact first time because I kind of used to sneak on here and there because I used to run the boards. They used to pay me to be the board operator. So other people would be on. They'd be mixing or I'd be running boards for people. And every now and then I would sneak in the background or something like that. But I do remember not being good when I first cracked the mic. I do remember being really nervous and then listening back to my air checks and thinking, oh, man. Like, who is this girl? Because anytime you do something new, there's always a level of discomfort. But I do remember that, and then I also remember the times where I started to really feel like myself on the air, and I think that's when it started to click for me. Like, wait a minute, this might be a good time, and it was a little while after that. The biggest high point of my career is not necessarily like a specific thing that I've done or that has happened. It's really like whenever things happen, like whenever big things happen in my life or in my career, it's like it's the reaction from the listeners. It's the reaction from people that I see in the street that have listened to me on the radio for years. Like when I had my son, who's 22 now, when I had my son, people were like congratulating me on the street. Even now, people will come up to me in the street and say, how old is Nico now? And I'm like, he's 22. And they're like, what? You know, we have this like real connection. And to me, that's always the loveliest thing. I've made careers, changed in my career, and people will come up to me in the street and say, oh my God, this happened on the show, or when you did this happened. So it's really like the moments in my life when I have that opportunity to connect with my audience, and they connect back, because I never expect it. And so when it happens, it always takes me back. And it's because it's so genuine. It's not a fandom thing. It's like a friendship thing in a weird way with people that I've never known, maybe never met, but have this relationship with. So really, that's the best thing that happens. And it happens when there are big moments in my life, especially. I can't handle it. I've had everybody from Barack Obama to Beyonce to Biggie, like to Tupac. It's too much. I don't know. I can't answer that question. Yeah, it's too much. It's like, what plate of rice was your favorite rice? Like, I don't know. I eat rice all the time. Like,
I think that's a very Angie answer.
I eat rice all the time. Okay.
I think that's a perfect.
People come in here all the time, and I'm like, wow, this person was great. Wow, that was amazing. Great conversation. I have so many conversations for so many years. It's very hard to pinpoint. My favorite listener interaction. My favorite listener interactions are the personal ones, the ones where I get to actually meet somebody. And also when they have a very specific moment of something that happened on the air. Something that I could maybe not think is a big deal, something little, or they'll say, oh, I heard you talking about that little restaurant you love, and I went and tried it. Like, oh, you were listening when I said that? I just, when people actually connect to something that you share on air and you have a chance to meet someone and you have that connection with them, those are the best moments. But it's also fun when, for a lot of times when I'll have an artist in here and somebody will get to say hello to their favorite artist, and there's that excitement between a listener and what's happening in the studio. That's always great. But yeah, so many. And of course, when they win a really big prize and they're really excited, that is always a good time. I've had a few tough on-air moments in my life. Some where we experienced great loss. I was on the air when Tupac died, when Biggie died, when Michael Jackson, when the news came in on Michael Jackson. I shared that with the city first. So people passing is always challenging. Also, 9/11 was really challenging. I wasn't able to get to work on the day of 9/11 because everything was, the streets were all closed. I came in on 9/12, the day after. And, the world was different. We were different. Everything was different. And making sure I was just there. I don't know that it was hard. I think it was more heavy, and serious. And I think even in that moment, I realized how important it is what we do on air. Someone that I was working with at the time told me, because the 12th, I was scared like everybody else to come into the city. I was living in New Jersey at the time, and I think I was in Edgewater, which is like right outside of the city. And I was like, I don't know if I can get in. And they're saying below 14th Street is closed off. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to the studio. And this woman I was working with at the time, Tracy, said, no, the world is already, people are already freaking out and the world is already scary. Don't give them something else that's not normal. They're used to you being on the radio every day. Just be on. You don't have to say the right thing. You just have to be on. Don't make the world a weirder place for everyone than it already is. And something about that really, like, I was like, oh shit, I got to get to work. I can't just sit back. I have to lean into this moment and just be there. And so that was a pretty heavy time. I think anytime we face a loss or a tragedy, those are really hard. But I do understand the importance of just showing up. Like, you can't desert your people or your family in a hard time. You have to be there. And so I learned early that even if you don't always have the right thing to say, or you don't even have all the information yet, or something's happening in real time, just being there and showing up, there's a real connection with people when you do that. It's an important one. Live on air oops moments. Yeah, tons of them all the time. I say words wrong. I stutter. I mean, just all types of things. I report a story incorrectly and somebody's like, no, that's not what happened. I'm like, it's not. Things happen all the time, I think, or saying somebody's name wrong is never a good time. Playing the wrong song, playing the song, or dead air is the worst thing that happens when you step out of the room for a minute and you realize that minute went on a little too long and the whole city is like has dead air. That's the worst feeling ever. Or sometimes you don't realize the mic is on and you're just la 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 la, and that's like playing over a song. That's never a good thing. So yeah, oops happen all the time, but it's part of life. Oops happen in real life, and so they happen on the air as well. I would love to redo, honestly, a lot of my early interviews, especially like in the late 90s when I was really getting my teeth into like interviewing big people because I was a baby at it. There wasn't a lot of follow-up questions. It was just kind of conversation, which was cool, but also I don't think I was in the moment as much as I could have been, realizing how legendary a lot of these people were, because I started my career in the 90s when, like, you know, it was big and Pac and Jay-Z was coming up and Mary J. Blige was starting her career. There was really some iconic Nas and Wu-Tang and so much iconic stuff going on. And I think we were just kind of going with the flow and not necessarily understanding the impact that those times would have. So I think I would go back and just really be present and I would take more photos. Yeah, maybe, or maybe not. Maybe they were perfect just the way they were. A tradition or segment that I love doing. I love anything that includes the listener, you know, that we can include our audience into, whether it's any type of contesting or just back and forth. We just started a feature called Check It or Let It Slide, where people are deciding if something is worthy of checking someone, or you just kind of let it slide. And it does tell a lot about people's personalities, about the things that bother you and how you confront situations. It's been a fun one. I also love doing like games and lyrical challenges and who knows lyrics best. We've been doing a lot of that fun stuff. But yeah, I think the thing about radio is like every day is the new day. So something that I liked doing last week, I could do it again, or I could not, or I could move on to the next. It's like one day does not really dictate the next. And so there's always something new to do, always something fun to try out. But yeah, I like trying new things. I like trying new games, features, fun stuff. If I could relive one radio moment, it probably would be my first day on the air. To really kind of mark it. The fact that I can't remember what my first day is on the air, like, that kind of sucks. Like, I would have liked to make it a memorable moment, because it would have marked the beginning of something that would change my life forever. It gave me a career. It gave me so many beautiful relationships, friendships, experiences. I think I would do day one with the intention of like paying attention to it and marking that really special moment. I think live mixing, DJs mixing on the air, is always like it's just an opportunity to like introduce new music, and it's just a type of energy on the air that I like to hear. Also, I like a little cross promotion. I like that moment when one personality is getting off the air and the next personality is getting on, and you have that little banter of like, what's coming next? What did you do? And the little kiki of the two talents going back and forth. There's always like a cute little moment. They call it like, it's like a cross promo moment. And I always think that's cute. I like to hear two different personalities kind of with a little banter on the air. I think that's cool. To me, radio in 2025 is like, it's just like a family member. It's an extended part of your lives, of storytelling, of, in the world now, there's tons of places to get content, to get information. But there's something about something that is easily accessible, is free, is curated, and there are people behind the mic that you resonate and connect to, that are always there every day. There's something, I don't know, that feels like home about it, that feels like family about it. And I think, I've over the decades, I've heard people say many times that, radio is finished. And look, we're still here in 2025, thriving. So, especially here at iHeart. I think what's great about being part of this iHeart team is that iHeart really values radio in a way where they put funding and resources, and they try to think outside of the box and make sure it's fresh and current with shows and events and just the way that things are packaged. So that's been great. I think it's helped keep the energy fresh for us in radio. And I think as a company too, the resources are endless. As somebody in an iHeart market, I can reach out to so many people in so many different markets at any time. It's really nice to have those kind of ties, those family ties across the country.